Marvin, are you doing your sessions with clients in person or?
No, all of them are done through Zoom and Skype mostly. We have staff where I work at the Radical Therapy Center and clients as well who are immunocompromised. So we want to make sure that there's not even a chance that anything happens.
That's good.
So we're going to jump right in, and I want to start with some creativity. I know you both as poets, and being a poet myself, and you know, obviously we're pretty good at English. So, but since the last time I saw you both, I think Marvin, you started singing, or you had always been singing?
So I had always been, I was a closet singer. Just super nervous around people. And then one time I did karaoke. My friends said I was good, and that like built my confidence. So I started singing more. But yeah, so I sing now.
And Jessica, you've been, you know, like, have you ventured into anything other than writing? I know that, like, I read everything that you publish on the internet, and I know that you're keeping busy.
Right. I've been, you know, social media warring. No, writing has really just been my outlet. I never stopped taking like writing workshops, and had the good fortune at community college. I mean, it was kind of double duty. I couldn't pay my loans at the time, and an outlet.
Love that.
So I probably got about 5 different associate degrees by now. So I had the good fortune, and I have to say her name because she's amazing. Jan Haig. I met her. I took her class, and it was this beautiful, healing writing workshop. And then she invited me to come to her Saturday workshops. And she is, you know, it's been beautiful because I kind of hit or miss with her workshops that she does. And I'll be gone for like 3 years, and then I'll run into her and I'll come back, or I'll run into somebody that I knew there in the workshops, and I'll come back. And so that's what I've been doing. And just publishing things that I've been writing in the journal there, and really just trying to stay. I feel like writing was a really big part of my life that I, for a little bit, kind of let go. And I do try to anchor myself in it. At least every couple of years, I'll take a deep dive back into it. Like I said, I'll run into Jan or somebody in her workshops, and I'll go and it markers the really important pieces of my life. After I miscarried, you know, I wrote something really important, and then to me, I wrote something really important, and then after a couple of the shootings, I wrote something. And so really being able to kind of mark really important pieces of my life. When I met my husband, I was in a really abusive relationship before I met my husband. And those workshops, you know, if she sees this, she should know that saved my life, you know, being able to write and being able to write in that space. So writing has been a constant.
Your mother is a poet as well.
She is.
Tell us her name and what we should know about her.
So my mother, Clara May Dailey, is literally the most. I always start crying when I talk about my mother. She's the most important person in my life, other than Justin and Wallace. When I was little, she always kept a notebook and would write these short stories, because she could tell you these amazing stories about growing up in the South and the segregation and growing up poor. And she would write these beautiful stories of scenery, these lovely things. And I think that's just where I got this love of not only writing, but of history, you know, because she's like a walking history book, you know. She's turning 69 this year, I think. Yeah, she's turning 69 this year. And she's just amazing. You know, she writes about everything. And and that it was always, you know, it sounds so cliche to say, but that was the inspiration, you know, running into somebody writing these notebooks. And her and my father did not have a great relationship, and I think that the turning point was running into things she would write about that and her sadness about that and around it. And knowing that I think that was the piece of herself she was holding on to, um, and being able to write about it. You know, she's working multiple jobs. She was raising me. She's kind of got this person running in and out that has always been intertwined in her life, and really being able to read those things when she'd be gone. I'd read them when she'd go to her second and third job, and it let me see pieces of her, that that she couldn't share. So that's Clara. That's Clara May. She is one to be reckoned with.
Marvin, are your parents creative as well?
My dad has just a whole bunch of instruments, um, piano and saxophone, and I always remember him having bongo drums and just like all these instruments. And he recently, I don't know if he's done it yet, but he's basically been just only playing at the house. And so me and my mom and my sister are like, why don't you go out to like an open mic? Or why don't you just go to like a jam session or something? Because like you're good enough. He's just like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. So this is like literal years that he's like just in the house practicing and stuff. But yeah, so I actually to this day I don't know if he's actually gone and done anything, but yeah, he's creative. My mom, I believe, used to write. I'm not sure if she does anymore, but I think she used to write. So yeah, so some creativity, you know, in the genes.
That's so cool. And when you switched over from teaching to social work and you made it your life's work,
Yeah.
were they surprised by that, or was that something that you had been talking about for a bit?
So I'm pretty sure they had no idea what I was going to do with my life because I also had no idea what I was going to do with my life. So, you know, they, what's cool about them is that they are supportive regardless. And I remember my dad saying, if you want to be a garbage man, you be the best damn garbage man out there. Like even if that was that. So like for him, it was like as long as you do what you love and you're doing it well, like it was fine. So that was never like a concern for me. I think for me it was just like I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my life because at the old age of 22, I thought we all know what we want to do, and we need to get it together because we're going to be 25 soon, and that was even older, right?
Oh, you gotta be married and have kids by 25, right?
Right.
Or at least live in the Bay Area in this amazing apartment and have a cellar. And you know, at 25,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you
Yeah.
doing with your life if
I
you haven't
mean,
like
if you haven't made it by 25, you're doing something.
you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing.
So I served 2 years with this AmeriCorps program called City Year, and it's a national nonprofit that brings together 18 to 24-year-olds for a full-time year of service. I still have that elevator speech in me. So we worked in the lowest performing public schools in a district. So I was in Miami-Dade County, and my first year that I was there, we worked with this program that worked with middle school students, and we taught them about different issues like poverty and racism and homelessness. And so in the morning, we would teach them facts about it in Miami, in Florida, in the United States as a whole. And then we would do a community service activity related to whatever topic we were doing. So if the topic was homelessness, we would give them facts about homelessness in Miami-Dade County. And then in the afternoon, we got all these donations. So we made like care bags with like toiletries and hygiene products and stuff like that, and then donated it. So it was a dope ass program. Unfortunately, it lost funding because nonprofits. But yeah, but I think that is where I think I made that switch from teacher to social worker because with a role like that, you get really close to the kids, and the kids start to trust you, and so they start to tell you things. So I felt very limited in my capacity as a teacher or as like a, city or core member. And it was like, I want to do something, but I can't. I can only teach you things. Like I can't go into your home. I can't talk to your parents. I can't do any of these things. That's not me. And so I just kind of keep that in my mind. And then I went back to Oakland and I worked with Job Corps as an admissions counselor. And similarly, when I did interviews with some of the students, they were like, oh yeah, I was also jumped by this gang because I wouldn't join. And now I'm here. Or yeah, also I was sexually assaulted. And it's just like, and all I can do is say, yes, you can get into the program, and no, you can't get into the program. So I'm holding on to all this information and all this emotion. And I'm like, I feel powerless. Like I cannot do anything. So one of my supervisors from City Year was like, I did social work. You would be an amazing social worker. And I talked to her about it. City Year had what's called a Give a Year partnership. So you do a year of service with them. They give you a partial scholarship to a university. So Boston College was it. And I applied, got in, and my passion was like cemented. Like I knew that I was in the right place. It was a fucking fantastic. Can I say fucking? It was a fucking fantastic.
You know what? In Australia, they actually don't censor the F word, shit, bitch. I think they don't even censor cunt, and that's like the #1 word out here.
Interesting.
He's a shit cunt, apparently.
Oh man.
Which I guess means you have shit in your cunt.
I'm missing out.
Thanks.
Now, because I deserve to be unedited. Just saying.
Well, the thing is that so this is a bit of just a little bit of context. So Type 5 Comedy is a live show company in Sydney, and we privilege the voices of comedians of color, which basically has earned us the reputation as reverse racist. But anyways, the city of Sydney has just given us $10,000 to create screen work with comedians. So that we had to cancel all our shows, and that itself inspired a documentary based on comedians of color in Sydney. Really difficult entertainment industry, very white. People won't even watch Australian TV because it's just like beaches and like white people with long blonde hair. Which if you walk down the street in Sydney, you do not see that. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we can, I know that Jessica, you do community organizing and you have a platform for communication in the city of Sacramento, and hopefully this official City of Sydney content will, like, I know Jessica, you're going to use some of this hopefully for your work, and I'm happy to like send you guys the audio and the video. You can use it however you want. If you have release forms for me to sign that over to you, that's fine. But you have my permission. But I want to jump into like, because obviously, I hate when people say obviously, so I'm gonna stop saying that. But we all go to therapy and take it real seriously, just as seriously as we take creativity and, being a whole person and kind of approaching life in that way of like not really apologizing or compromising who we are in anything that we do. What are your self-care practices right now that you're doing, and like, what was your journey finding the therapy and or medication resources that worked for you? So Jessica, I know that you can speak to both of those things. I hadn't actually remembered that until the other day after I'd already asked you to be on this discussion, but I know that we talked about it in the past. Do you mind recapping of it?
Sure. I'm a mental health shit show, and it's great.